Greetings everyone, Rakandar here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire video. Before we begin, I will be doing a little bit of some discussion as to some of the changes in the game since I last made a video, as well as a little bit of kind of a overview as to what I've been up to offline. If none of that interests you, feel free to head down below to the video description. There will be some timestamps as well as a little chapter thing in the YouTube bar down below, so you can skip ahead to whatever time where the run will officially start. But if you're interested in some of my thoughts on certain aspects of the game, as well as some of the kind of run history that I'm going to go over, then feel free to stick around. So anyway, last time that I played was a little while ago. I think I had a few things. I did have a few things kind of come up in my personal life, so I was unable to record as much as I had wanted, and therefore I haven't released a video like I was planning, where it was going to be every week. I think every 2 weeks is where I'm going to start trying to shoot for. This should pop up on a Wednesday, 3 weeks after my last video, and the goal here is to start doing kind of a 2-week cadence. I feel like that's a little more flexible for the current situation that I'm, the current kind of scheduling that I have, so I'm going to try to shoot for that as best as possible. Anyway, since I last played, I have done a lot of, or since I last recorded, I should say, I have done a lot of gameplay, and we can see here in the compendium that I have a few runs here. This was literally done shortly before recording this particular video. But I have played quite a bit of Necrobinder. I'm not quite confident in saying that she might be my favorite character yet, but I do really enjoy a lot of the differences she brings to the table. So I am now on Ascension 8 with the Necrobinder. She's my highest. Defect, Regent, and Silent are at 3, with Ironclad being at 2. This version of Ironclad compared to the first game just hasn't clicked with me quite yet, so I haven't really felt like playing him as often as the other characters. Additionally, my runs are a little bit, I have lost a few, so the Doggo character, or Doggo boss, has had my number a few times, and I've struggled to beat him occasionally. Usually it's a slower paced Doom deck that I've kind of started losing against with him. Just unable to kind of match the scaling of the boss with the Doom, and then the Doom would reset at the end of each phase, and so that kind of put kind of a difficult issue at hand that I was unable to overcome. I did get some revenge though on one of them, so that I did end up getting a victory against the Doggo. No thanks to just having a bunch of these, actually. So I eventually, for this particular run, I had more Doom than he could handle, so it did actually kind of work out. But it was a really good run. I really liked this particular deck. And so yeah, that's kind of the overall. I think I've lost 3 times in the course of my gameplay. I'll definitely get that information a little bit more compiled, so that whenever I do hit Ascension 10 on every character, I can kind of get a decent win-loss. Unfortunately, I can't use my character stats because this also counts multiplayer, so these are not quite exactly up to date with my single player, because I do play a little bit of multiplayer, and so the losses there do reflect. But even then, I kind of have a decent record, 29 and 15, so like most of these losses are in multiplayer. But so yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. Also, the game changed quite a bit. There's a new bestiary, which is kind of dope. You can go look through all the characters, and the coolest part of the bestiary is this. Super awesome. Love to see it. And finally, there's been some patches. Basically, the big patch that came out over a couple of weeks ago is going to be the Doormaker being replaced with a brand new boss known as the Ironclad. Personally, I am a huge fan of the Doormaker. I think the best way I could describe the Doormaker is that he feels like an actual kind of a true opponent that you have to play around, similar to what you might expect in an actual PvP card game. Because in a PvP card game, essentially you have your own game plan with your deck, and your opponent has their own game plan with their deck. And at a high level, both players have to take into consideration what each other's deck is going to do and interact with their opponent in such a way. For a game like this in Slay the Spire, a lot of the times when you're thinking about future turns, you know, like 2 or 3 turns ahead, it's only with respect to your deck and rarely with respect to what the enemy is doing. The Doormaker was the exception. When you're playing against the Doormaker, you have to really take into consideration what his future phases are going to be. You know, phase 1, you're going to be dealing with your cards exhausting. And then now, not only do you have to take into account your own game plan with your deck, you have to take into account the fact that next turn is going to be no draw, and have to plan your cards accordingly. For me, that was an exceptionally fun and satisfying thing to do within the tactics of the card game. So for me personally, I thought it was an exceptionally fun boss to fight, even if it was stressful at times. And I personally have a 100% win rate against the Doormaker. I lost to the doggo thing more than the Doormaker itself. And I really like the complexity of the move pool beyond just increasing numerical numbers, so numerical values. So personally, I think it could be a fun Ascension. So, you know, Ascension 8 is all of the enemies become harder to kill with more HP. I'm pretty sure Ascension 9 is all of the enemies hit harder with more numerical values on their damage. And then Ascension 10 is the double boss. I think there could be an interesting restructure where we do something similar to the Hades fear system with their boss improvements. So one of the things that you can do in Hades is what is called, in Hades 2 in particular, I don't remember what it's called in Hades 1, but in Hades 2 there is a rivals mechanic where one of the options you can do to increase the difficulty is to give the bosses harder movesets. And I think it would be really interesting if they maybe attempted a similar approach with the Ascension system. So instead of like scarcity, this could be more HP, this could be more damage. Ascension 9 could be harder moveset with the bosses having a more complicated system similar to what the Doormaker was. And then Ascension 10 could be the double bosses. I think that would be a really interesting way to approach having a more complicated moveset similar that the Doormaker had, without making it overly complicated for someone who's trying to just chill on Ascension 0. But like the people like myself and other people who are very much enjoying the added complexity, you can have that for us on the higher levels of difficulty. I'm not entirely sure what they want to do or how they intend to approach it, but I think that's probably how I would do it and the direction that I would want to have it. Doormaker could also just show up in a very complicated or in a very complex fight in an Act 4. We do know Act 4 is going to be a thing similar to the first game. So maybe that's something they push to the Act 4 bosses or elites or whatever. But personally, I'm a little sad that the Doormaker's gone. I actually have fought the new boss, and I don't think it's bad or anything. Or I do enjoy the boss myself, the new boss, and some of the added challenges to how it works. So we'll see how it goes in the future. I'm not entirely convinced by the Doormaker being a little too, I mean, I do think he's overly complex in terms, in comparison with some of the other fights. The big deal with the Doormaker was that you don't fully know his moves just by kind of existing in the fight. Whereas like if you're fighting the doggo, phase 1 of doggo, skills make them hit harder. Phase 2 of doggo, he hits hard and can add wounds. Phase 3 of doggo, every other turn intangible. Very basic concept that forces you to play in complex ways. Whereas the Doormaker himself was complex, adding to the layers of complexity with how you had to play as a player. I personally really like that. I like the complexity, and I would love to see if they could consider something like the Hades fear system, where they can add complexity to the bosses and make them even more difficult without numerically improving them, right? Like instead of just giving them more numbers, make them complicated to fight. And I think that's how what I would like to see, at least a little bit. I hope Doormaker doesn't completely die with this patch, and that we see some of his mechanics maybe in another aspect of the game, maybe even an alternate Act 2 or alternate Act 3 or something. We shall see. Either way, he is gone, so you won't see him in our run today. But that's enough for yapping. I think I want to play Ironclad because I want to see if I can get him up to Ascension number 3. And I haven't played him in a little while, so let's see how it goes. Ironclad is still the character that I am the least comfortable with right now. I do really like all of the other characters. I think Ironclad and Regent are the two that I have the most trouble with. So let's see if we can circumvent some of that. There was also some new Niall starter bonuses, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that either. But there are new options here. I think the Niall bonuses are really cool, and I love seeing more of them. So Niall's Fury is pretty fun. 1 of 2 colorless cards versus remove 2 and lose 16. We don't have our Ascender's Bane yet, so let's see. How do we want to play? There is a... Ooh, that's an early shop. Ooh, both of those shops are early. I'm not a fan at all. Let's see. There doesn't seem to be... Okay, there's this path here. I'm trying to find paths that, like, lead to, a couple of elites. I like 2 elites in Act 1. And then more elites if you can afford it. And so going this way would probably be... You know, you get rest sites after the elite and before it. Get some upgrades and healing if you need it. This pathway here seems very suicidal. There is an elite plus 3 fights that are going to be part of the hard pull into another elite. Yeah, I don't know. That seems really hard. We could get an early remove. We're not on the higher Ascension yet, so removes are pretty cheap. So that could be what I try to do. All right. Let's do a colors card. Oh. What's this upgrade to? 3 and 3? If your hand is empty... I don't know if we can facilitate that. Does Ironclad even really... I'd have to be able to play 4 cards. I know I can exhaust, but I don't think the Ironclad really does that well with this type of card. I guess we play Thinking Ahead. I don't like that, so we're not going to go the crazy route. We do 1 defend. And I think I want to double strike this so that we can stun it next turn. And then hopefully not get... Oh. We're going to get pummeled by this guy. Touch of Insanity, uppercut, Molten Fist, setup strike. I do like the uppercut. Alright. 110 gold, nothing super crazy here. If you exhausted a card, gain energy. Or energy, that's kind of wild. No meal ticket. Could buy the restlessness. I think I'll actually go ahead and just buy the vicious. Or is that something I want? Do I want the vicious? Sure, why not? And I can't remove a card. I probably should have just removed. Remove was probably the best. I think we'll do that. We'll take a hit. Uppercut. Strike. And you die. Another uppercut. If this was the first game, I would take the uppercut and fish for the Snecko Eye, but this is not the first game. I feel like the ancient that gives you the relics from the first game is one of the rarest out of them all. I've played so many runs and I've only seen him once out of all of the runs I've played. He like never shows up. Take a pummel strike. Hit really hard. Don't think about it. Think ahead. Put you on top. Dash defend. 11. I think we want to hit him. We'll take another 3. Yeah, let's make sure that we kill him. Infernal Blade, Spite, and another Vicious. We do have 0 cost, or we do have 2 cost attacks, so I think I'm gonna go with the Spite. And then what's here? Gold or Clumsy with a relic. We don't have a Sender's Bane yet, so let's go with that. Get a relic. Ooh, that's nice. Here we will upgrade the uppercut. This will be a hard pull fight, so I was gonna say hopefully we get some good stuff, but here we are. I might have to use the Touch of Insanity. Do I have to? So this will deal 8. We pretty much guarantee draw uppercut. Of course, that doesn't give me enough to kill. I'm gonna do it like that. I honestly forgot about the Vimbrace. I probably should have considered that when dealing with the last turn. Speed potion, bully. 2 damage for each vulnerable. Howl from beyond, stampede. I kind of don't want any of these, if I'm being honest. It might be beneficial to get the Howl from beyond just for some AoE. I think I might have to do that, even though I don't have a means of exhausting it. So what does this do? 3 times if you've lost damage. Draw 2. I think I'll do the Howl from Beyond. 21 is way more playable than 16. So hopefully we find ourselves a... Like if we are going against a multi-enemy fight... Alright, no multi-enemy fight here. I think we'll uppercut. We'll play this. Put this on top, defend. And then we'll bash, spite. If I draw here, I don't care, okay. And we'll take all of this damage, 6 damage here. 16. If I play 9, I think I take the 16. And go for a stun next turn. Because if I deal 9 here, that won't actually stun. Okay. That won't actually stun. I was mathing improperly. Bash. Oh, I forgot about the vicious. I should not have bashed. Or maybe I should have. Pummel strike into damage. Howl from beyond for 31. Heck yeah. Bloodletting, headbutt, unmovable. The first time you gain block from a card each turn, double the amount. We only have defense right now, but that's gonna get better. Sure. Alright, we have 2 fights to deal with. So that goes to 1. I would like to probably get this to be... to not exhaust. We do have a lot of draw, so I probably could have taken the bloodletting. What's we got here? This thing. Oh, I forgot that I had the anchor. I didn't need to do that. This is 31, 13, 9. It's probably better just do 31. Unmovable, gain 10, smack for 5. Vicious. Ow. There you go. Explosive Colossus. Yes, I'll take you. Okay, this guy kind of sucks. Oh, I did it again. I could have just played... So you're not vulnerable. Let's put you on top. Crap. Oh well. Hopefully... We'll just use that to block a little bit more, because we're going to be able to finish it off. And we got another potion. Thunderclap, Armaments, Havoc. I do like the Armaments. Thunderclap's not too bad either. This could synergize with our Howl from Beyond in some cases. Some very rare cases. I think we'll take the Armaments. And if we have the... Okay, so this fight... we do have the turn 1 block. I'm a little curious. Do I want to play the unmovable or the uppercut? I think the uppercut. This is going to die to 1 cast of Howl, so I want to probably weaken another one. Okay, we got the Howl from Beyond, and I think we just send it full. Excuse me. And then here we can... play this. 9 damage to you. 5 damage to you. We'll block this guy. Play Thinking Ahead. Boom. Really good fight. Whenever you enter a question, heal for 5. And I think I want the energy. What about taunt though? I think we just take that. And I think I'm good I'm good to go ahead and upgrade. Armaments makes a lot of sense, but that goes to 1. That goes to 2 energy per turn. Probably the Armaments. That's gonna wake up, so I think we just wait until we get the rest of our stuff in play. Not bad. Uppercut. Spite. I just want a bunch of vulnerable on the enemy. Yeah, I think so. A little sad that my Pummel Strike is so unluckily like drawn. I haven't drawn my Pummel Strike with my Armaments at all. See, 8 times 2. Guess we're taking 16 here. And I probably want to take another floor. No, we can defend, I think. Okay, we can finish off. Yes. All right. Can I speak? Conflagration? Conflagration? We have 0 strength gain. I think we go for Thrash. I wish this upgraded to let me choose what to exhaust, but I guess it's alright. We do need a little bit of damage scaling now. We have pretty good block scaling. Now we need some damage. All right. What? Okay, I was gonna say. Brightest flame. Strikes are 0 and eternal. And they also deal a little extra damage. Not entirely sure if that is something I want. We do have a lot of money. There's a shop over here. Does this lead me to... There's an elite shop. I kind of like that. That's pretty decent. 2 shops. We should probably go for the fight instead. Yeah, we definitely want to do the fight. Get some more stuff. Alright, what do we want to do? I don't like that. I think we just go for the brightest flame. Would be nice if we like picked up a feed. Scaling, counter scaling. Hell from Beyond. Let's see. I wonder if this is beta art. Do I play the armaments and go for the full block? We'll take a little. Keep that for the B guy. Evil Eye. Or Shrug. We'll take the Evil Eye upgrade. Since it's upgraded already. Nice. That's not nice. I would drop both bash and the uppercut. That's kind of wild. $21. Does this trigger the spite? No. Ouch. Defend strike. Or do I need the energy to kill next few turns? We have vicious, so when we apply stuff. Let's try to defend strike. Oh, okay, yeah, that was definitely not the right call. We can hit 3 times though. Boom, 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 boom. You're still running away. 1 max HP for that. I think that's fine. I do want this evil eye. And I don't want any of these cards. Yeah. We need a little bit more scaling happening. Hopefully the shop has something good. Ooh, hello. Give Vambrace for 2 relics. Explosive round. I kind of wanted the explosive in case we have to fight the centipedes. But we are going to a shop, so it's probably fine. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, what do we got here? Enchant an attack with momentum. I guess we could add strike dummy with 0 cost strikes. I kind of want to get rid of one though. I think I want the True Grit to eventually exhaust. Ooh, maybe I should have got Purity instead. Maybe I'd take it anyway? I'm gonna take the Blood Wall. And the Purity. And because I lost my Explosive Potion, I'll take the Relic that does it for me. Oh, these things are evil. Uh... 44 block. That is wild. Alright, so... I do think we want this. Just 5 damage. Of course. Ouch. Ouch. These things are so mean. Order. I should have used the armaments before I used the thing. I really wish I could play this uppercut, but I think I have to get rid of these. Okay, Pummel Strike should get us there. Yes, Bite, Pummel. Ooh. Tremble, yeah. I'll take Tremble. Okay, we're going to... Do I want another fight? So what's a really good upgrade? Probably this. What is this upgrade? Up to 5? Okay. Yeah, I probably want the Brightest Flame upgrade. And I will... Do I want to go for the fight? There's a lot of hard pull fights that could just mess us up. Let's go for the event. Ooh, good event. I think for this we want the draw 2. Skill to enchant. The Sharp could go on our Thrash, but I don't think that's necessary. Okay, let's pick a power. Probably the 1-cost power. Or do I want it on the unmovable? Because if I upgrade unmovable, it goes to 1 cost. And then we could draw into a block if we need to. I do like that. Kind of wish I had Mummy Hand. That'd be pretty dope. I think we'll do the unmovable. Ripple Basin's good. That's good. Great. We are going to another shop. But we don't have to go to the shop, so I think I'll just take the 35. I want to go in here full power. And then we drink that. Drink that. Vicious. Thinking ahead. We'll put this... Put the Blood Wall on top. Oh crap. I forgot I had Vicious. I'm so dumb. Okay. I want Pummel Strike. Oof. I think it has to be the Pyre. Unfortunately. Alright, there we go. I think we play the Armaments. Uppercut. Tremble. And that was probably not the optimal... Ouch. Blood Wall. Crash. I'm gonna wait for a bigger card. Okay. Uppercut. So I go to 9. Go to 13. And hopefully we draw a single attack. Nice. A bit awful. Ooh, Eternal Feather. Expect to fight Rupture? God, I wish I could pick both of these right now. It might be the Inferno. But I mean, I guess we only have the Blood Wall. We don't have any other means of self-damage. Expectify might be the way then. Because we don't have a lot of energy source in the deck right now. We do have a lot of attacks, because we still have 4 strikes. And we have the pummel, so this will be... Yeah, let's take the expect to fight. And we healed from the Eternal Feather, which is nice. 140. I think I want to upgrade this now. And then with 140 gold, I am not convinced that I want the shop. I could remove, but I think I'd rather go the... Yo. Hey, nice. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright. Grab that. Play the Vicious. Play on that. Okay, we have the Purity. I think there's a world where I do want to attack Potion. So this will give me a bunch more energy. And then this will hit me a bunch. I think I'm going to play the Thinking Ahead. I do put... I think we want to play the Pyre. And we'll hit... And do I want to exhaust these? Am I going to even draw through my deck again? I could. Okay, Howl from Beyond kills this. I'm pretty sure, even with the weak on us. Let's go ahead and see how it goes. All right. Oh, I wish I had the Colossus. Howl from Beyond. I think we have to... So yeah, 15 damage. I think we play this. Game piece. Whenever you play a power, draw a card. Okay. And True Grit Plus. Kind of regret having this True Grit, but I think I'll take it. Alright, I think we're kind of cooked for Knowledge Demon, if I'm being honest. We don't have a lot of scaling. I think we're gonna need a big swing with our Flex Potion, I feel. And this ain't the turn one that I wanted. Alright, so let's place the Tremble on top. Play the Pyre. Oh, that's right, the game piece. Whoopsie. Okay. Play that. Play that. Play that. Play this. Armaments everything. Uppercut. Play that. And then Blood Wall, smack you. Yeah, we don't have a lot of damage, but we do have a lot of block. No, why'd you do that to me? 50-50, hit it. Thank you. I think we gotta play another one. I don't want to play that Blood Wall. I mean, we ended up losing the same amount of damage anyway. Okay. I'll take the energy because we... We might actually... The True Grits constantly blocking or constantly exhausting the Howl from Beyond actually worked out. Okay. Scaling needs to happen somehow. We are in a not a great place. Fiend Fire could be something we're looking for. We did use the Brightest Flame quite a lot. At the start of your turn, put a random attack from your discard pile into your hand and upgrade it. What does that upgrade to? An 8? That's not really what we're looking for. I think we want some exhaust. We need more exhaust synergy or more self-damage synergy. Well, honestly, not even self-damage at this point, because we still only have just that. But we need some kind of scaling, and right now we don't have it. And I don't think any of these are it. Fiendfire could be okay, but I don't think I want it. All right, what are you gonna give me? The first time you play this card, draw 3 empty potions, diamond diadem. Who's our boss? We are facing the Aeon Glass. Swift 3. Could put it on Spite. And Brightest Flame. Really just draw through our deck. And Purity. So we can like exhaust and draw. Or we could rely on some potions. Every fight just chug, chug, chug. What is this? Oh. For some reason I thought that was going to be the max HP one. Alright, we have a lot of gold. Okay, where's our elites? Over there. Oh, we do have these fires over here. Okay, but that doesn't give us a shop. There's no shop over there, so I think we scratch that. We could go to 2 shops, but I think I want this early path. And then we can decide on elites or on 2 elites versus 1 elite, depending on how that goes. Diamond Diadem is really, really good. Half damage is exceptional. But I don't think we really need it because we do have a lot of ways to just kind of continue our plays. The Swift 3 on like Brightest Flame and Purify, I do like. Or on Thinking Ahead. Yeah, Thinking Ahead with Swift 3. Kind of draw through our deck. Yeah, let's do that. Thinking Ahead. Purify. Spite or... So this will be a draw 6 if I put it on Brightest Flame. Could turn Spite into a draw 3 the first time we play it. I kind of like the idea of being able to draw without having to sacrifice my max HP, so I think I will do these 3. Alright, let's see if we can get some good stuff going. That's not it. What the fuck, game? What are you doing? I shouldn't have played that. That was a huge misplay. Alright, Spite. Let's play this. Oh, it puts... Oh, that's not good. I have to do the effect of Thinking Ahead before I draw 3 more? That's not good at all. Only gaining 1. I think I need to play that this turn. Second wind. We're facing a boss that needs to use, that gives us statuses that retain, so I think I will actually go pick that up. Okay. And I'm not going to waste the Vambrace because we only take 4. Movable. Do I want to focus the guy in the back now? I think so. We have a lot of block. Barricade would go pretty hard. Draw cards until you draw a non-attack card. We don't have enough non-attacks for that. Juggling is a no. Well, maybe. Add a copy of the third attack you play each turn. Probably not. Inferno could be the move. Not this one. What does this upgrade to? 9 damage to all. And this could accelerate if we get like a rupture. I think we'll go ahead and take it, just kind of in case. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think I need to play this turn. Play that, exhaust that. Alright, I think we're set up. We need a little bit more card draw. Like non once per turn card draw. I'm gonna try not to play the Brightest Flame again this fight. I think I can get away with that. We have too much energy and not enough ways to, like, play it. Spite plus. Okay. Maybe. I think I'll take the shrug. Transform a strike. Or do I need to... Do I need the double damage? Like, put it on Thrash? Oh, that could be a solution to what we need right now. Like a scaling solution. Like Thrash is going to keep going up. It also deals self-damage to us to enable some of our other things like Inferno and Spite. That could be the angle we need. And if we get a Rupture, it goes pretty hard. We can continually exhaust the Howl from Beyond. I think that's the angle. Because like right now, I don't have a guaranteed setup. And we have a lot of options to try to establish that setup. But in terms of like finding a guaranteed setup, this is already there. Right? Like this is already gonna help us establish that. And then now we don't have to be as afraid. I do like the not yet as a means of sustaining our constant self-damage. Equilibrium also goes pretty hard. Tear Asunder. We are going to lose a lot of damage. Do I want Battle Trance? I did say we need card draw, did I? Whenever you play an attack, add a random attack into our hand. Cruelty. Could also be a cruelty angle. I don't think so, though. I think Battle Trance. Are we seeing another shop? No, this is the last shop, unless we get a random one. So, let's see. We already have a ton of energy. Dark Embrace would go real hard right now. I don't want the Equilibrium. Because we do get double block. I think I want the Equilibrium. Yeah, this expect to fight's actually not that good anymore. So I'm going to be smacked for quite a lot. Holy moly. Let's see. I think we just play that. Skip? I didn't realize that was gonna... Ooh, Gremlin Horn. Hell yeah. Oh no. That's gonna exhaust the uppercut. I don't like that. I think we have the pyre, right? Yeah. It's getting complicated. What is... Yeah, it's gonna exhaust the uppercut. So it's gonna deal 12 plus the 6. So I don't kill. All right. There it is, rupture. All right, we're kind of running low on HP. Do I really want to fight an elite at this point? Like the thing is, I think we're pretty good now that we found the rupture. I think we're good into the fight. Like the actual boss fight. Oh no. Maybe I spoke too soon. I did speak too soon. I really want to smack him with this uppercut. $59 twice, holy moly. Turn everything into rocks. I don't think I want that. It's all my skills, right? No, transform all my attacks into rocks. Potentially alright. I don't think I want it though. Alright, so I want to probably upgrade Battle Trance. I think it's Battle Trance or Thrash. Or even Vicious, to be honest. Oh, look at this goober. Do I play the Brightest Flame? Ugh. And I don't want to play my a block card. Dang. All right, take a hit. All right, we can hopefully... Nice, perfect lethal. And I'll take another Shrug It Off. All right, do I want the elite fight? I feel pretty strong. I feel pretty strong. Like, once all of our powers get in play, we can make some good headway. I'm gonna try not to lose any more max HP. Right? I wasn't paying attention to the damage that was being done. That should be all right. We'll hit them with the boom. Boom. Burning Pacts. Sure. Alright. And we will go for the Vicious, I think. This will allow me to draw more with the uppercut and bash. Alright, let's see how this goes. Turn 1 Pyre. I do like that. And we'll block potion, tremble. Yeah, unmovable. Vicious. And I'll play the Blood Wall. Upgrade with that. Okay. Battle Trance. Rupture. Bash. Get rid of all of the artifact. And I think we can go ahead, play you into you. And then Equilibrium, play this Wither. Alright, we are close to being set up. Do we have armaments in here? No, we already used armaments. Okay. Go pummel. Upper. And I think we'll play this. How... we can't gain energy this turn. So I think we'll do Thinking Ahead. Play the Inferno. Into... Okay, that was a pretty good turn. Got a lot from it. What's in here? So Thrash is in there. Let's play the draw 3. I think we'll Armaments, Equilibrium. And hopefully this will allow us to play the Uppercut. We'll play the Thrash. Burning Pact, the Wither. True. Okay, what's in here? I kind of want to... do this. Ooh, only 2 block. All right. This will delete a strike. And this will... We're not retaining, I don't think. Well, except for the... except for those things. So I'll play that. Play that. Play that. I should be playing these two. Alright, play this. Play you, and I think this should kill, right? Yep. Boom! Let's go. Ironclad victory under the belt. Only Ascension 2, but I'm pretty happy with that. Enemy kill. Heck yeah, what a run. I think this was a pretty good showcase of mid-act adaptation. So the decision to enchant the corrupt the Thrash, it did end up in a position where we found the Rupture, but I feel like if we didn't find the Rupture, this would have been a consistent scaling option at our disposal. And it would have allowed us to kind of push forward into the victory. Because like we had a lot of block and a lot of defensive maneuvers to stall out to keep using this exhaust. So I feel like that was a very important decision to make versus transforming a card. So that's, I think that's something to keep in mind, right? Like the Rupture was not a guarantee to be found. We did end up finding it, making the run that much easier, but I feel like even if we didn't pick up the Rupture, the fact that we made this decision when we did would have allowed us to continue pushing for that final attack. Because we had a lot of ways of dealing, like we had True Grits to exhaust the statuses, we had Equilibrium that we picked up to help retain some crucial cards, Second Wind, we could have done more Second Wind stuff really, but we didn't really, it didn't really come up. We could have exhausted probably all of our defense and all of our, a lot more stuff. We probably could have exhausted a lot more stuff to make that fight faster and set up a situation where we always draw Thrash while drawing the, what's it called? Thrash in the same hand as the AoE card. What the hell is it called? Howl from Beyond, right? So every time we exhaust the Howl from Beyond with our Thrash, that's an extra 21 damage. So like on the first exhaust of it, that's 30 damage as a baseline twice. And then we get to multiply that by the 50% extra. So like 60 goes to 90. And then that continues to change. So like that would have been our battle plan if we didn't find the rupture and found it to be a comfortable way to stall out the fight in a more safe manner, right? Ensuring that we had access to defensive cards and only using second wind when we needed it. If we didn't have the rupture, we would use second wind more aggressively to exhaust the skills that we don't need anymore, right? The low cost or the defends that we don't need anymore, the expect to fights once we lose all of our attacks, like we don't need all of that. And that would lower our deck size to a point where we can constantly be cycling Thrash with Howl from Beyond in a successful manner while keeping Uppercut in play as well. So I think that would probably, you know, probably had to use the energy potion potentially, cycling with the Brightest Flame even, right? Gain more energy, keep cycling these two, gain more energy, keep cycling these two. I feel like this deck wins even without the rupture. And that's all because I chose to make this enchantment. So pretty fun run. A little bit of a rundown towards the end there in terms of why I made that choice, right? Because I wasn't guaranteed to find a rupture and I needed a way to potentially scale my damage for the boss fight. So really cool run. I'm pretty happy with that. A lot of fun. I do like the fight. I do enjoy this particular boss. I do kind of wish Doormaker was still around. I think he's he's a lot of fun too. If you skipped my intro, I did talk about that a bit more. So if you want to hear my thoughts about the Doormaker, go ahead and listen to some of the intro. About halfway through the intro, I started talking about it. But anyway, that's going to wrap up the video. I will be doing my best to upload these every 2 weeks more consistently. I think that's probably the schedule that helps me, that'll be the most viable for me right now as I'm working on other projects for another channel and stuff. So got some reviews to work on, got some other real life things to do. So I do want to continue making Spire videos and talking about the game. But I think the 2 week schedule is probably the one that I can work with the best. So anyway, that's enough. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, of course, hit those YouTube buttons. You know, they really like it when you do. YouTube really likes it when you do that, and it helps out the channel. If you want to see more content from my channel, feel free to do that. And I will be making more Spire content, and maybe sometime in the future, I will also be making some other content as the channel grows and get, you know, more interest in other games happen. I do want to do some Baldur's Gate 3 challenge runs. I think those sound pretty fun too. But for now, Spire's my game. Also Crosscode. If you haven't played the game Crosscode, I highly recommend it. Phenomenal game. Been one of my new addictions. So anyway, that's going to wrap up the video. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.